Okay, so it seems like there's another big issue for a lot of VTubers in this space, and also for pretty much anybody, to be fair. But I would say this obviously affects VTubers quite heavily due to the fact of a lot of their anonymity. Now, we've talked about this quite a bit with YouTube and Twitch and other places like that, with Twitch obviously introducing a new ID verification thing coming to the UK, which will probably be implemented over in the US as well, and also the YouTube one, which really hasn't seemed to have that much of an effect, to be fair, and hasn't really come to fruition. Which I think is obviously pretty interesting, but it all goes back to this one tweet, which, we covered a while ago about Bao talking about YouTube, saying they want us to provide our IDs while our account is still being constantly hacked by crypto scammers. Well, it seems like we have another one of those kind of situations today, but this time over at Discord. Now, there's been multiple tweets and things covering this. Obviously, Lydia says here, your personal data was just leaked if you ever used Discord customer service and provided IRL information. This is again why I'm personally against these big services giving you ID. This only affects people who use their customer support, and then here's the press release. So yeah, obviously Discord has been sending out a ton of messages lately telling people that their identification has been breached, and obviously a lot of their data has been breached. Now, obviously, there is a big caveat to this, which we will go through. And obviously, Discord sends this message saying, hello, we're reaching out to you because of a recent security incident on September 20th involving your personal data. Specifically, an unauthorized party gained access to a third-party customer service system used by Discord. We have confirmed that some of your personal data associated with your account with our customer support and trust and safety teams was exposed in this incident. This may include your name, Discord username, which, okay, that's fine, email, and other contact details if you provided them. So if you provided them all of that, then obviously, yeah, that might have been given over. Limited payment information, including payment type and the last 4 digits of your credit card, as well as purchase history if associated with your account, IP addresses, and also messages and attachments sent to our customer support or trust and safety agents. They say the incident did not include full credit card numbers or CCV codes, your physical address, your messages or activity on Discord, or your Discord password or authentication data. Now, they never said identification data or whatever, which I think is pretty interesting. They never mention, hey, this did not include, obviously, your passport or your driving license or whatever you used for ID, right? So that's pretty interesting how they haven't included that. But obviously, yeah, it says that a lot of your information has been leaked to these, services. Now, this is something that also Chibi Reviews brought up, saying after multiple countries have forced age verification through ID or face scanning to protect kids, Discord has been compromised and everyone's government information has been leaked. Do you still trust all these sites with your sensitive information? Now, obviously, yes, this is 100% true. Now, obviously, there was a rated community note here, so it hasn't actually been put up, and for the right reasons, because Chibi doesn't actually mention that, obviously it's, essentially the thing is why they've actually managed to put a community note or tried to put a community note here is because this is due to the old system of verification that Discord has been using, and that's how it's been leaked, and that's what it's kind of adding on in the community notes here. But again, Chibi doesn't mention whether it's old or new. They just said after multiple countries have forced age verification. Again, he doesn't say it's due to the result of that, but it does present a big issue for a lot of people and a lot of VTubers out there in the sense of age verification and the actual privacy of your ID and things. If Discord can't handle something like this and this kind of stuff is being leaked, well, should you really trust giving your face or giving your ID over to them, which someone could easily go ahead and take? They've got your name, your Discord name, your email, so they're going to know who you are and what your personal actual account is, or what your, persona is online, and they could obviously leak that. We've seen, obviously, there's a lot of VTubers out there, right? Imagine some VTuber obviously, provides their ID to verify, who they are, and they're anonymous. They never show their face or anything like that, or share their name. And then they, obviously have some issues, maybe provide it to customer support, right? And then this happens, it gets breached, their ID, their face gets obviously exposed to these people alongside their name and Discord username, right? Because obviously, information on its own, like just the name or the face, it could just be some random person. But seeing as they've got your Discord name, they're going to know what your online persona is, and they could go, oh, wait, this is big VTuber number, this one. I'll say, oh, we could go and expose their face right now to the entirety of the world, which I think obviously is a big issue. And that is why it is one of the bigger issues. Now, it's still an issue even if they don't have your Discord username, but we know that they have your Discord username and your email. So obviously they could even use that as kind of leverage behind it for some kind of blackmail. You know, they could email that email and be like, hey, we've got your face and your ID. We're going to go expose it if you don't give us money, right? That is literally what a lot of hackers do. And that's how they make their money. And that's how, you know, a lot of this could be a big issue for VTubers specifically that don't want their face to be revealed. Now, obviously, yes, it's less so of a problem for people that do IRL content, but also if your ID is on there, that still could be a huge issue, as that would contain stuff like your address and everything like that, depending on what ID you used, right? So again, it's still a really big issue for a lot of people, and it's already an issue for a lot of VTubers as well, with people like Rosie Belmu obviously speaking about this. This is a issue of a hacker which has been hacking into her account and many other people by submitting claims to Discord, and Discord is doing nothing about it. Okay, they're literally doing nothing. Their support system sucks, because not only is their support system being hacked, the support system just isn't really good. You know, they don't actually somewhat solve a lot of problems, and Rosie is still fighting this stuff even to this day. We made a video about the hack ages ago, about her being hacked and there being a problem, and now she is still fighting, you know, this kind of stuff on her Twitter, with Discord doing nothing. They've literally done nothing, and obviously it's, yeah, terrible. Obviously she's saying please like and share, and obviously this is apparently a video of the hacker themselves doing this, and they had a YouTube stream where they are, well, apparently doing this kind of stuff, which obviously is terrible. And yeah, I mean, it just goes to show you how terrible Discord security systems are, and how easy it is for people to get access to your accounts. And obviously, if in the future they do decide to step up the IDs and everything like that a little bit more, well, obviously they're going to get access to your ID and potentially your facial information. Now, one of the kind of, counter arguments to this is, you know, that they don't store it. But at the same time, how can we be 100% sure that they don't store your data, right? We've had many companies in the past, for example, like Facebook and all the other ones that say, we don't store your data, you know, we'll get rid of it, and it's only used for this kind of stuff. And then for it to later be exposed that they've been using your data and selling it to companies and whatever, you know, how can you really be sure that they are actually 100% throwing it away? And how can you be sure that it's going to be protected whenever they have a lot of incidents like this of information being leaked? And that is why it is such a big problem for VTubers who are anonymous. You know, a lot of people who don't want their identity to be exposed onto the internet for whatever reason that may be. You know, people have multiple reasons for being anonymous on the internet, right? Whether it's just because they don't want to, or maybe you know, maybe they've got family that are very important or whatever, that maybe they don't want that to be exposed or whatever. There's multiple reasons that people, you know, obviously decide to be a VTuber or decide to be anonymous as a VTuber, and there's multiple reasons why people decide to also do IRL content alongside their VTuber model, because maybe they're not so tied down by that and they can go and do other things, right? And I think that is obviously a big problem for a lot of people that are using Discord and a lot of these other sites, and it kind of exposes back to this first message that Bao has put on, is why would we want to give these companies our IDs when they're constantly being hacked by a lot of these people, right? It's the same for YouTube, it's the same for Discord, it's the same for Twitch, it's the same for literally everybody. And, you know, it's not even just like these companies' faults themselves. For example, this Discord, I'm pretty sure they used third-party customer support services. So again, they're obviously, all of these companies usually are using third-party softwares, which obviously then it goes into the case of, well, if it's not Discord doing it, could this private company, which is obviously running the services that Discord or Twitch or YouTube is using, right, could they then go and sell that data or be breached or whatever? And in this case, obviously, they did get breached with their old system. Now, obviously, the new system has not been hacked, so your information, your ID, hasn't been leaked, right? If you did actually identify it. Obviously, for a lot of people, Discord hasn't actually sent out the verification because they believe that you're obviously of age or whatever for Discord. But at the same time, for people who have, you know, I'm sure this is pretty scary for a lot of people to read, because, you know, you could be next. You know, you could be the one that is obviously going to have their data leaked. And it could be much worse than this. You know, it could be way worse in terms of your ID going out and your face going out and everything like that, which sounds like, obviously, as I said, a VTuber's worst nightmare. And also, you know, just anybody's worst nightmare, to be honest. I don't think anybody would really want that to happen to them, and that is why it's becoming such a big issue in the space. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to bring a little bit of attention to this because, again, it is pretty insane that Discord have allowed this to happen, and, you know, they're allowing all of this other stuff to happen on their platform too. It's becoming a little bit of a problem, and the same goes for a lot of the other kind of platforms too, YouTube and Twitch, implementing these ID kind of verification stuff. It's starting to, you know, show its issues and starting to show that maybe this isn't really the best idea and that they should probably go about it in a different way or just not do it at all. You know, I feel like they shouldn't do it at all, but again, obviously it seems like they are pushing pretty heavily for it. But again, as I showed you guys, there's a lot of problems with this, and I'll keep you guys up to date if there's anything else coming out. But yeah, let me know down in the comments what you guys think about the situation, because again, I'm very interested in what you guys have to say. And yeah, if you guys did enjoy this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Also, go to Game Subs, use my code Kaza, get 10% off. Again, they've got a ton of really cool stuff over there. Definitely recommend checking it out. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. That's all. See ya.